Alright, this will be the first edition of Scotty's Wrestling Breakdown. This is separate to my YouTube wrestling talk, in the fact that this is about a specific wrestler instead of just a general overview of my thoughts on the wrestling business at the moment. Now, the first subject of my breakdowns is Randy Orton. Now, I'm going to be as unbiased and impartial as I can in this breakdown. The first thing I wanted to talk about is his ring work. I think Orton's a good wrestler in the ring. I think he's got the athleticism, the ability to tell a story, and the ability to work well with his opponent in order to make the match as good as he can. As he can. For that, I give him a 7 out of 10. He can be stiff and reckless at times, but a lot of wrestlers are stiff and reckless at times, even if we don't want to admit it. It does lead to injuries, and it does lead to botches, but unless you're doing it all the time, that's not as much of a problem as people like to make it out to be. My next one that I want to talk about with him is mic work. Now this, for me, is his big letdown. I don't think he's any good on the mic at all. And I'm not just saying this because I don't like him. I'm saying this because it's my honest opinion. I think he just bores me when he talks. He's just got that same monotonous voice. Doesn't seem to add any intensity to his promos. And as you can clearly see, WWE don't let him do too many promos. I think even they know that's a flaw. Now for that, I give him a 3 out of 10. My next one is crowd connection. This is one that I will say Orton does. He does it well. Now, whether or not it's his ring work, or whether or not it's just something the fans do, they connect to him in some way, he does it well and he's able to sell merchandise. He is one of the top faces in the company, even if he's inconsistent and not necessarily the best guy backstage. But yes, he does connect with the crowd. So for that, I do give him a 7.5 out of 10. Do I believe he needs to turn heel? No. That leads me into my gimmick thing. Now, he doesn't have any defined gimmick in my opinion. People say yes, he's a face, but if you look at him, he actually does a lot of heelish things. And that's the thing that annoys me with him. When it comes to that sort of thing, I like the defined face and heel gimmick. With Orton, the lines are blurred. Yes, I know lines have been blurred in the past with Austin and that, but Orton just doesn't get away with it in my opinion, just because of the fact that he's not good enough on the mic to be able to pull a gimmick like that off. How do you turn him heel? Honestly, I don't know. His actions are heelish enough as it is, even though he is defined as a face by the WWE and its fans. Now, there is one last thing I did want to bring up with him, and that is his overall demeanor. In the past, he's had maturity issues. I know he smokes pot backstage. I know he's on 2 strikes due to a wellness violation. Now, people will say, oh, it doesn't have to do with pot. No, pot is only finable under the wellness violation, not suspendable. To me, if Orton does get the 3rd strike, I probably wouldn't be too worried, but he is an asset to the WWE nonetheless. So for their sake, I do hope he manages to stay clean and not get the 3rd strike. And he is on a long-term contract, which I think was a bit of a risk with someone like him. That's just my opinion. I hope you like this video, and I'll have another breakdown sometime soon.